Hey, everybody. Yes, it is Freestyle Friday here on the Kim Jacobs Show. And look who's already in the house ready to rock and roll. None other than the political expert and celebrity. Well, I got Joe Duncan coming for that. But
Come on,
the
Joe.
educational expert and political expert Shawn Hall is in the house from allroadseducation.com. So make sure you guys know that you can grab your virtual seats. Grab your virtual seats. Go ahead and start tagging people, typing, commenting, asking questions. You name it, it's going down here on the Kim Jacobs Show. I am excited. Shawn, thank you for being here today.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's always my honor.
Oh, I can't wait. We're going to have a good time. We're going to have a good time today because there's a whole lot of stuff happening. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and share it, Shawn, with your friends as well. Everybody, share it with everyone you can. Let people know that the Kim Jacobs Show is on the air. Let's go ahead and kick this party off. Nuck if you buck, Shawn.
You got my song going? Come on.
No. Yes, it is the Kim Jacobs Show, and the Kim Jacobs Show could not be what it is without guests like you all, Shawn Hall, and great studio audience members. So I'm excited to have you guys with me today. Listen, let's jump right in. We ain't wasting no time. Like 2 minutes in, it's time to get going. Talk to us about some politics. Tell us what you got to say, Shawn.
Let's get into it. So Tuesday, we voted. That was our final time to vote. And I always want to put a little pause there, that in many states, there's the opportunity for early voting. And so if you had the opportunity to do that, kudos to you, because it really does save you the time. It takes every excuse away for weather, for long lines. November 3rd was the last day to vote. And so this election has seen record numbers come out.
Yes.
And what we realize, whether he is going to be the president or not, Joe Biden has received more votes than any political candidate in our United States history. More than ever. So let's get right to it, because that's what you came for today.
Yes, if that's what you came for, y'all type, that's what I came for. That's what I came for.
Because I want to serve the people. We just want to jump right into it. We know that we had record numbers of people voting, whether that was absentee, whether that was early voting, whether it was on the day of. And so we've seen a lot of things happen. The number one thing that we knew was going to come about, and we've seen it come to fruition, is this president has said that basically the election is fraudulent, that votes are being stolen from him. So I am a political science major, a graduate of Bennett College, a lover of liberty, and I want to take a moment to give you a little lesson in civics.
Go ahead, Shawn. Go ahead.
So here it is. In every state of the union of these United States, the federal government does not prescribe what the methodology is for counting votes. That is derived by states. And even when you get into the states, every county has something different that they do. In Catawba County, for example, they say that your ballots had to be received by perhaps 7 o'clock election day. Mm-hmm. You might go to Mecklenburg County, who says, hey, as long as you mail in your ballots and we receive it by 3 days after the election, we will count it. So even within a state, counties have the ability to decide what they want to do. And then before we even say who the official winner is, because everything is projected right now, every state with their Secretary of State has to certify the votes, and they have a specific date to do that. So when anyone says that counting votes after election day is fraudulent, it's illegal, they are misinformed and they are ignorant about the process, because the process has not changed because of who is in the White House. The process has always been what it is. Now, what we find is that some people in this administration, mainly the chief in charge, they've exploited many of the laws. So my fervent hope and prayer is that after this election is over, should he not be in the White House anymore, that every single legislator legislative body across the country will tighten up their laws, because what we have seen throughout this election, throughout this administration, is that they have subverted the laws because some of the laws have not been very firm. And what we've done is the gentleman's handshake to say, oh, you know what? We believe that we're both going off of a good place and we've got good faith effort. No, there's not been a lot of good faith going forth with this administration. So people want to say, well, wait a minute, what can we really do? Because when you went to bed last night, you may have seen that Georgia was hanging in the balance. We weren't really
Not
sure.
Anymore. Oh my God.
And what we realize is that metropolitan Atlanta has come all the way through with their votes. But don't get cocky. Don't get happy. There are about 5,000 votes out there that were absentee that need to be cured. What does that mean? It means that if you were one of those voters and somebody called you, if you got spam and somebody keep calling, answer your phone. Somebody knock at your door, answer the door. Why? Because you have until 5 o'clock today in the state of Georgia to cure your vote. There are going to be those who don't want you to, but what I'm going to tell you is this. The reason we needed people to come out in large numbers to vote for whomever your candidate of choice is to make sure that we've got the recount piece locked and loaded. Well, what do you mean, Shawn? I'm glad you asked.
Well, I didn't get to ask because you just going on. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Ask me, Kim.
Well, what do you mean, Shawn?
I'm glad you asked. So, every state has laws that govern the recount of any election. And so let's talk about what that is. In Wisconsin, where the president has said he's going to ask for a recount can be requested if the margin is less than 1%. So the more people who vote, and if you have the margin between the two, let's say it's 1.5% in Wisconsin, no recount. No recount for you. Pennsylvania, it is required by law if the winning margin is less than 0.5%. So if it's 0.6% in favor of either candidate, no recount. In Nevada, a recount can be requested no matter the margin, but Nevada said you got to pay. We ain't doing this for free. So they require a deposit. Now, don't think that the people who are in control don't know this. That's why Lindsey Graham gave $500,000 to the Trump campaign to pay for whatever is going on. But you also notice Lindsey ain't had nothing to say yesterday. Everybody from the GOP was real silent, real quiet, because the truth is they tired of him too. They're tired. They're tired of this foolery. But what they did, they used him to get what they wanted. And then they said, bye-bye, you're gone. Get out of here. So let me keep going. In Michigan, there is an automatic, the recount is automatic if the margin is between 2,000 votes or less. So in Michigan, if you've got 2,001 vote, no recount. No recount. So the more we have, the more votes we have, it really does limit what the president is able to do. In Georgia, you can request a recount if the margin is less than 0.5% of the votes cast. So some of you are going to have to do the math because I'm on here. If we look and we say, well, how many votes were cast? If there were 7 million votes cast, correct? And you need 0.5%. If the margin is less than 0.5%, there's going to be a recount. Arizona, they say that a recount is required if the margin is equal to or less than 1/10 of 1% of total votes. So why are we going through all of this? Because there are people who think that, oh, we can just say there was fraud and it's automatically going to be a recount. No, these states
Not
have
at all.
laws. And so if they don't meet the threshold, there'll be no recount. What does that mean? It means you will have a new president. You can have all the legal challenges you want, but the state law, because states are sovereign, cannot be subverted by the federal government, there will be no recount and you will have a new winner. We go back, though, and we look at some things that we heard a couple of weeks ago when they were trying to confirm Amy Coney Barrett, and they were talking about court packing. I want to call your attention to the lower courts. They have already been packed by the GOP with people who have not a sense of left or right. They don't know a court case because they've never tried one. But that's why this president was trying to make sure that he could send this issue to the courts to be decided, because he's already stacked the courts, the lower and the Supreme Court. But guess what? No weapon formed against us is going to prosper. I believe that with my whole heart. Now, fight me if you want to. Fight me right there in the comments if you want to. This is why your vote matters. whomever you're voting for, you need to have large numbers because you're not going to get it by the popular vote. Lest we forget what happened in 2020 with Al Gore and George W.
Right.
Bush.
Mm-hmm.
Al Gore had the popular vote.
That's
This
right.
matter had to be settled by the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
George Bush was the winner.
That's right.
When we had 2016 with Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton had the popular vote, but she did not have the electoral votes. Now, something big happened, and I believe that case was decided this year or last year, and we call them faithless electors. So when we're voting, you're casting your vote for the president, yes, but in actuality, you're casting it for a slate of electors. Mm-hmm. These are people who are nominated by their party at the convention to actually come and cast their vote for the president. So when we look and we say, here's how many electoral votes North Carolina has, that means there are 15 electoral votes, right? And those votes will be given to that slate of electors who are supposed to vote for who won the vote. Mm-hmm. Oh, but you had a rogue elector who decided that they didn't want to give their vote to Hillary. They didn't want to do it. And so it went all the way to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court said, look at here, we're not about to do this. If this is the slate that has been selected, and this is the party that has won, you must cast your votes for them. Pennsylvania did try it. Pennsylvania tried to pull some tricky moves with their legislature to say that they could replace the slate and put in whoever they chose. But judges have struck that down. Now, the legal challenges don't stop because, as you know, or may not, even though you may take something to court, if the lower judge throws that out, it goes to the Court of Appeals. That's where everything gets tricky because so many of these new judges have been appointed by Trump. Now, what they didn't realize is they have lifetime appointments. So with a lifetime appointment, you don't have to do what the appointer said do.
Not at all. Not at all. They're already there.
There are no more political favors to be had. You already got your job. You ain't going nowhere, which that's a problem too, because I think having somebody elected to the courts for a lifetime appointment, it's a bit much.
I think it's a lot. That's just my personal opinion. Again, not the views of the show, but just my personal opinion.
I agree with you.
Okay. Listen, lots of comments have come in. I want to make sure. I know you're at an appointment too, but is it okay?
I am, but keep going. We're good. I talked to the doctor ahead of time. She knows. Okay.
I was like, I hear that door over there clicking. I'm like, listen, y'all gotta give my best friend a few minutes here on this show. Okay. So let's rock and roll. Some comments have been coming in. If you have questions right now, today is Freestyle Friday here on the Kim Jacobs Show. We're talking right now with political expert. That's right. That's my best friend, Shawn Hall.
That's my
from
best
All Roads Education, and it's allroadseducation.com is how you'll be able to stay in contact with Shawn Hall. allroadseducation.com. I'll type that in a minute, but I want to go right to your comments from the studio audience. June Griffith says, this is what I came for. Let the blow blow. Okay, I'm not. She's like, right. Good morning, Shawn from Brooklyn, New York.
Good morning, June. Thank you for being here with us.
All right. Do not stop, Shawn. I love your knowledge and your confidence. Your mommy is on. She said, tell it, Shawn. Tell it.
It's my mama.
The Bennett bells is in the house. You know, that's
ring-a-ling, baby.
Ring-a-ling, ring-a-ling. Okay, let's see. June Griffith says, Shawn Hall, you need to be on CNN, CBS, Fox, and all the national and international news agencies. You need to educate the nation, please. I'm saying it how I think the person would say.
Listen,
you know, instead of me speaking on somebody's behalf, let me put this link in here, you guys, and you can come on and speak on your own behalf and be pulled right into the show with Shawn. Or if you have a question of any of my guests, my experts that come on the Kim Jacobs Show on Freestyle Friday. So feel free to click on that link. I'll bring you right on and you can say something head to head right to Shawn. Let's see. Oh, you said, let's see. Thank you, Kim. Oh, Ms. Dr. Griffin Campbell.
It's so important to support each other. And I want to say something, Kim, but after we get some more viewers, because something just came to mind when I saw a post come up.
No, go ahead and say it, because sometimes you know it slips. So go ahead and say what you're going to say.
This is what I want to say. No matter who you are, No matter what your station in life is, don't ever give up. Don't ever think that where you are today is where you'll be tomorrow.
Mhm.
Because of what happened in 2018 with Stacey Abrams when she ran for governor, and they were being so shady in Georgia,
That's
stealing in
right.
Georgia, kicking people off the rolls in Georgia. She could have just taken her ball and went on home. But
That's
what she did, I believe, set the trajectory for where we are now in Georgia. She didn't get mad. She didn't get bitter. She got better. She
No, she
went
did.
back and she said, you know what? We're going to launch an attack on every single unjust law. And we're going to make sure that we get voters registered. We're going to make sure that we get people out here. And look what this came down to. And I'm going to say it. Some people may not like it, but y'all, in Georgia and everywhere else in these United States, we went from picking cotton to picking the president.
You better say it, Shawn. That is exciting, especially if you're African American female, for you to be able to come from your ancestors that's picked cotton to be able to have a say in who the president of the United States is going to be. That's incredible, incredible honor.
It's incredible. And I don't want this moment to be lost because for people, for especially Black people, we're picking hairs, we're splitting hairs about how Black Kamala is. How dare you? How dare you? Why would you? But even if that's what you want to do, and for those of you, and I know you're out there drinking the haterade, talking about she put so many Black men in jail, listen, this is the system that we all are under. You cannot change the system from the outside. So you want to change the system, get inside and start making it work. Do that from wherever you are.
I'm so excited you're on here today. Okay, Chantel Patterson said, good morning. Drop the mic, my brother said, Courtney. He said, boom, just drop the mic. My mom, who I thought wasn't going to be on here because she had an appointment, she said, good morning. It's Friday on the Kim Jacobs Show. Have a great show. She's at an appointment too. So she's like, please make sure you say I support my baby on Freestyle Friday.
She does.
And you know what? I also found out too, Mother Barbara Anderson from the Church of God in Christ, is she's on and she's older, but she does not type. But she just told me last night she watches every show. So thank you, Mother Anderson.
And
Mother
what does that mean? That means that every shut eye ain't sleep, y'all. It's people who are always watching you. They may never tell you, but they see what you're doing. They see what you're saying. They're going to be people who are encouraging you from afar. So keep doing what you're doing. And as women, not just Black women, as women, we should be encouraging each other. Look how far we have come, and yet how far we still have to go. This is about our daughters. This is about every young woman looking up and seeing that she can rise above her station in life, that she doesn't have to stay where she is, that nobody can tell you who you have to be because they're not God. They did not create you. So you don't get to put me in any kind of box ever.
That's right. That's right. So we can be anything God says we can be. And nobody can, and it does not matter what our circumstance, where our situation, our background. It's so many things that can make us be put into a bubble. But okay.
I'm going mute for 1 second, Kim.
Okay. So, while Shawn is on mute, and I'm going to go ahead and Shawn, I'm going to remove you. Give me a thumbs up when you want to come back in. Okay, guys. So moving on, I see that many of you had comments and everything. Shawn will be pulled back in. She's at an appointment right now, but I'm getting ready to bring in celebrity expert for the Kim Jacobs Show. He has his own show called JDTV is on, and he is in the house. Hello, Mr. Joe Duncan.
Hello, Miss Kim Jacobs. How are you on this Friday morning?
I'm doing great. Now, the thing is, I don't know if you meant to like lick your lips while I was going. You know what? You probably waiting for me to do the thumbs up thing, right?
No. I have a bad habit of doing that. Like I'm LL Cool J or something.
I was like, what are you doing? You're like, hey, I don't even want to imitate it. You can do that. I was like, oh, is that like a celebrity thing? I can see you backstage licking your lips.
I just recently noticed it watching my interviews back, and I'm like, why do I do that? But I can't help it. I don't even know I'm doing it.
You know what? Everybody have their, their swag, their thing that they do. And so that's your thing. That's your signature move, just looking your lips. I'm like, does that mean you ready to come on or what's happening?
It means absolutely nothing.
Oh, that's so funny. Welcome, Joe Duncan. Now, any of you that's been watching the Kim Jacobs Show on Freestyle Fridays, you know that Joe Duncan is the host of the celebrity show JDTV. It's on YouTube. You can definitely subscribe to him. And I encourage you to do so if you're looking for some great, good, deep celebrity news. So, Joe Duncan, take it away. Tell us what you want to talk to us about today.
Hey, well, we've got a couple of stories. There was one story I had for you, but I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it going this
Tell us
morning.
about it,
But
though.
we've got some great stories. We're going to start off on this Freestyle Friday celebrity situations on the Kim Jacobs Show with former NBA star Lamar Odom. All right, so Lamar Lamar Odom was scheduled to marry his girlfriend Sabrina Parr. They were headed down the aisle, but she has called for a time out.
Oh.
Now, here's what's going on. Their relationship started out really, really great, and she was really helping him stay on the straight and narrow. She and Odom have been together for a couple of years now. She appeared to really be a positive force in his troubled life, because Odom did battle some problems with substance abuse. If you remember back in 2015, he was almost died after an overdose at the Bunny Ranch Hotel. Was a brothel, not a hotel, in Nevada. And he's also admitted publicly that he has an addiction to pornography. And this addiction to pornography was apparently such a huge issue with them that the couple even had some kind of program or app installed on their phone that if Lamar was watching something he shouldn't be watching, Sabrina, the fiance, would get an alert to his phone. I mean, it was serious. Well, now Parr has announced that she is calling off the engagement. She made the announcement on Instagram. She didn't go into detail about what led her to that decision, but she did say that she can no longer be by his side while he seeks the help he desperately needs. So this has a lot of people wondering if Odom has fallen off the wagon, or have drugs become an issue for him again? Was his addiction getting out of hand? So this was obviously a deal breaker for Sabrina, but I think she should be commended for having the sense to get out of a relationship that she saw going in the wrong direction, and for knowing that she can't fix him, he's got to fix himself.
Well, okay, let's talk about that for a few minutes, everybody. Go ahead.
What are the deal breakers in viewers' relationships, I wonder? I mean, what is that one thing that you just will not put up or tolerate?
That's good. So type your one thing and I'll be happy to pop that on the comment screen. What's that one thing that's like the deal breaker for you that you say, this is it? I've been here. I've tried so hard, baby. I done did everything I could to try to lift you up, make you look right and all of that. And I hold my king to the highest standard and all of that. But at the end of the day, there are some things that's like, you know what? Enough is enough. This right
Enough
here.
is enough. But this is really, I think this is a sad story because we've seen Lamar over the years. He was first married to Khloe Kardashian.
Right.
He is really a gentle giant. I mean, he's like 10 feet tall, right? But he's got this great soul. He's almost childlike. But he just seems to be like a very sensitive, kind of just subtle guy. But he has these, these issues that have plagued him. His father, I think, was battled drugs for most of his life. But it's sad, and it looked like he was on the right track. He had, cleaned himself up. I mean, if you remember back in 2015, that episode with him being caught in that Nevada brothel, I mean, he was in really bad shape for a really long while. I mean, they didn't know if he was really going to make it or not. And when he met Sabrina, I think that really was a bright spot in his life. And it looked as though, somebody let their hair down this morning.
I wasn't even looking at you, Shawn, and then I could see your eyeball. Like, do you not see me saying, come on?
No. My eyeballs were stretched based off of what he was saying. I think he's
Oh,
100% right. It's a sad story with Lamar.
Sad story. But so yeah, but it seemed like she was really getting him on the right track. She's a fitness expert, guru. But like I said, she apparently has gone as far with Lamar as she can go.
wow.
Shawn, what is the deal breaker in a relationship with you?
You know what? Deal breaker in a relationship with me is trust. And I think a lot of times when we think of relationships, we think of male, female, but I think even with I know, even with my
Friends.
female friends, it's trust. I want to know I can entrust you implicitly and explicitly. I don't want you to hold back the truth from me because you think I can't handle it. This is not that movie. You can't handle the truth. Yes, I can. I absolutely can handle the truth. But what I can't handle, or no, I won't say handle, what I can accept is you thinking for me. I don't want anybody to think for me. I want you to let me make my own choices. So that's a deal breaker for me.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. And a lot of times I think sometimes people stay in relationships longer than they should because they're waiting for someone to give them, an answer to this question that they've always had, why don't you love me, or what is it, what's wrong with me? And sometimes you never get the answer,
No.
even though you're owed the answer, sometimes you're never given the answer. So I think I totally agree with your point. I don't know if it made sense what I just said, but
No, it did.
It's good. It's good though. I have a comment too. Because I know you didn't directly. And good job, Joe. You didn't put me as the host on the spot, but you wanted to ask me, didn't you? Be honest. You didn't. You like, do I ask or do I not?
Ask
I
her,
don't
Joe.
know.
Go ahead and ask her. Go on and ask her.
Go ahead and ask me, Joe.
So Kim, what is a deal breaker for you? What will you not put up with?
You know what, Joe? Now, I have thought long and hard about this. And Shawn knows because I've talked to her about so many things in life. And we've debated. And she's like, oh, no, Kim, I don't care what you're saying. That is wrong. You get that philosophy out your head. You know how she's snapping. And I'm like,
always snapping the
by
fingers.
the time I finished talking to her, I'm like, but Shawn. She's like, I'm like, no. Okay, so for me, it's interesting. I have to be totally mindful of the fact that I'm a big believer that God does not put things on you that you cannot bear. And sometimes we don't know why we are experiencing some of the things that we are experiencing. And I know some things biblically we don't have to experience because it's the word of God that says we cannot or we don't have to tolerate it, and we have options if we don't want to tolerate certain things or deal with certain things. But I just believe that my life is something that is, for some reason, and I don't know why, but I believe that I believe I'm here to help people have hope and to understand that. And I don't want to go too deep, Joe. You're like, Lord have mercy. This is not
No,
what I was.
no. I'm listening. I'm on the edge of my seat over here.
I just believe that there are things that's happened in my life, even since I was a child, that and I was like, dog, I don't want to be the person that these particular things have happened to be the example per se. But for whatever the reason, I have been the example in some situations, and some I've shared and some I haven't shared with the public. But I just believe that my deal breaker is not necessarily my deal breaker because I don't know yet every situation that I will be in and introduced to and exposed to. And I don't want to start crying, but I will say that whatever I go through, I believe that God wants me to let my light continue to shine, to be an example of hope and inspiration for others that are watching and observing what's happening in my situations, whatever those situations may be. So I don't know is the answer. I let God dictate the outcome of my destiny.
And
Joe,
and sometimes
she's saying ain't no deal breaker. That's what she's saying. She's
no, she's got a deal breaker.
I have a deal breaker. I do have deal breaker. Personally, yes, I have personal deal breakers for sure.
Yeah.
I personally have deal breakers, but sometimes when I get ready to exercise those particular deal breakers, I get chastened a little bit, and I need to just make sure of what God is saying in my spirit, not what Kim is saying in her spirit.
Yeah. One thing with me,
because look, or what Shawn is saying. Shawn like this.
My name in it. Don't put my name in it.
One thing with me, when I decide that I'm done, I'm done.
Me too. Now that's a fact, Jack.
I am done.
I'm done.
I am the king of not talking to somebody.
Well, you know what? Here's what's going to be funny, because in as much as I feel like I'm hardcore, many a times that's my stance. But in my spirit, there's been a little book welling up. And what I firmly believe is that we have to give people the grace to grow. I don't mind giving you the grace to grow, but with that grace to grow, don't mean that you got to grow in my good garden.
Give them enough. Yeah, they can grow in another house.
You said not in your good garden. Oh, here. Oh, you know what? That's okay. That's interesting. You say that. Let me go. Oh, here. Dr. Shantae is in too. Let me pull you in, Dr. Shantae. Hey, Dr. Shantae, how are you?
Hi. Good morning, everybody. I'm gonna just say, I'm with Joe. When I'm done, I'm done. My walkaway game is strong.
Look,
you and Sean love each other.
Dr. Shantae, then we need to do the two-step together.
Y'all, please, even though I'm crying and I'm
walk it out on them
and all of that stuff. The thing that I do want you to know, and Sean does know this, when I am done with situation or a person, I'm done. And she can attest to that. My mom can attest to that. When I say I'm done, and I believe I have the exit authorization, I'm done. I'm officially done. And I don't look back. I'm done. Because I know that I've been released to move forward, and that's okay. So let's go to some of the audience comments about this right quick, because there's some good comments coming in.
Are we only seeing Dr. Shantae's picture today? We're not seeing her live.
I don't know why. Dr. Shantae is gorgeous. You need to open that.
Yeah, I was watching yesterday, asking a zillion questions.
Well, I'm gonna just say, y'all would see very much the relaxed Friday. Dr. Shantae, no contacts and eyeglasses today.
We don't care. You're gorgeous. And by the way, everybody, and I will give you this one thing from what was it, the after party? Dr. Shantae, and I don't tell after party content. $12 a month. You just don't get privy to the after party. But Dr. Shantae did say one thing that I will tell you guys. Her hair is all natural. All of that beautiful flowing hair that she has is all natural, all hers that she was born with. Okay, I will tell you that one little thing.
Which is why it looks crazy today. But you know what? Just because it's you guys, I will give you a behind the scenes, and I'm going back off camera. But because I'm not in my office today, so I'm no makeup, no anything today. I am what I call simple glam today, because I got it right today.
Perfect. You look fine. You look fine. Nice to meet you too.
Okay, let me go to some audience comments, because my audience is gonna be like, see, you know what? You done got too sidetracked. Let's see. Let me stay focused and messing around. Y'all can get me in trouble. Okay, well, I already did these. Okay, I did this and my mom. Okay, you better say that again. Hey, okay, somebody said a comment that Chantel loved. Okay, Moody's. Oh, these is Joe Duncan here. And that's good. Please tag so many people. PowerPoint, we can become anything we want to be. Yes. Joe is amazing. Lord, it's Friday. It's Freestyle Friday. Yes, it is. Freestyle Friday. Joyce McCall said you have to do what you have to do to get inside the boardroom. In order to get inside the boardroom, somebody's echoing. So let me. Okay. Joe Duncan is the bomb. He definitely got swagger. You and Joe together are a great entertainment. Yeah. Between Joe licking his lips and me over here crying. I'd be like, what are y'all doing?
That's Joyce McCall. That's my super duper #1 fan.
Welcome, Joyce McCall. Welcome.
Yeah, she got in.
Gary says Lamar better hide any trophies in his house. Sabrina is known for bashing hate. Did you know about that? I didn't know
I didn't know. I didn't know she had a violent streak.
She known for bashing heads. Oh my goodness. Okay. And June Griffith said Odom's situation. Sabrina wasn't listening. She was his conduit. Ask him a question. She would answer. The only question she couldn't answer is, what about Chloe? His response: if she come calling, then everything is over. She heard what he said, but she wasn't listening. Oh, whoa.
Yeah, that's interesting, June, because I do feel like Lamar and Chloe still have a connection. I think there's something about the two of them. I think she was also that help for him. I think she really tried to pull him up from where he was. And, you know, for whatever reason, it didn't work out for her, or you know, there was a deal breaker for her in that relationship. But that's a great point, June. Very good.
And then June also said trust is her deal breaker. That's her deal breaker. Praying for Lamar, Gary said, praying for Lamar. Yeah. Joyce McCall says, people don't sometimes realize that you have to have setbacks to have comebacks. It's great to see sisters and brothers who have broken the shackles of their minds. I can't deal with people who won't accept change. Very good. Very good. My gosh. Okay.
Now I have a little trouble with that sometimes.
What? You have trouble with what?
Change. Sometimes I like same.
Yeah. Well, change is inevitable. It's something that's going to happen to all of us.
I know.
We want it to or not. You know, in life, you just got to be prepared that change is going to come no matter what. So just
yes, you do. I was just going to say my favorite saying from my clinic and biology days is either you evolve, you may not like that, but you definitely won't like being left behind.
Right. Good point. Good. Oh, and just so everyone knows, Dr. Shantae Williams is the expert to come on and talk about creating generational wealth for Black families, and not just for Black families, for all families. And she is an expert in her own right. And so she's the new expert regarding generational wealth here on the Kim Jacobs Show. And she's popping in to share some points. And we're going to go to your point next after we finish with the celebrity piece here.
Go ahead. Courtney says what?
I have said that what a deal breaker, but when people put in that situation, I did not break.
See, that's what say that. Now that's good, Courtney.
I have said what is a deal breaker, but when people are put that's my point exactly, Courtney. That's what I've said. I've said plenty of deal breakers. Oh, if somebody do this, if somebody do that, but then when you find yourself in that actual situation, it's like, now what?
But Kim, I think Courtney is saying something different, and Courtney here can put it in there. The deal may break, but I don't break. The deal did, meaning that this agreement that you and I had, when you do what you do, when you did what you did, you broke off whatever arrangement we had, but you didn't break me down. And I think so often in life, that's not what happens. When the deal is broken, people break as well, but you don't have to.
Right, I agree. Right. I do agree. I agree with what you're saying, Shawn. I agree with what I think Courtney is saying. And I know I agree with what I'm saying is that I know I would agree that if I'm in a situation and I've called the situation quits, it does not mean that I have to have a hatred towards you, that I have to whatever. All I'm doing is I'm no longer dealing with you in that regard anymore. Doesn't mean that we're not able to coexist if we happen to be in the same environment. I don't deal with you like that because you got the devil in you and I know it. Okay. Yeah. Let's see, Shantae. I would try and work out the problem, okay? She would try and work it out. That's good, Erica Carter said. Good. Okay, it's a lot of comments. Let's see. I think she was like, oh, Kim, I was crying. She probably like, girl, I'm praying. But leave that situation. She probably like, oh. Courtney says, I think our growth opportunity is to die to our own ways and learn and trust in him. And I believe that wholeheartedly. Mm-hmm. Good thing none of us are God. We will all be done. You better believe it. You better believe it. You better believe it. I'm done when you become a liability. Oh, when you become more of a liability than an asset. Dang, that's a trip, Joy. You like for richer or for richer. And bottom line, you're a liability, man. What you got to have a job?
My friend Joyce knows what she wants.
Yeah, that's good.
I love it. Okay, it's so many more comments. We're gonna go on, guys.
I've got one more quick one, and then we can move away.
Wait, Joe. I am saying I would leave this person if they did this. they have done that, and then I did not leave. That's what I thought he was saying. Right. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Be quiet, Shawn. Go ahead now, Joe Duncan. Go to the next
All right.
one.
Last one today, since that took a little bit of time. So, much anticipated movie that everyone has been waiting to see. Respect, RESPECT, the Aretha Franklin biopic. Well, it looks like the film has been disrespected. MGM has decided that the movie starring Oscar winner Jennifer Hudson as the Queen of Soul will not be in theaters as scheduled in January. Instead, they are pushing the release of the movie all the way back to August.
No, that's smart.
So, of course, this is all due to the COVID-19 pandemic, but this makes the second time that the movie's release has been pushed back. It was originally on schedule to be released this past August, but then it was moved to hit theaters this January to coincide with the Martin Luther King holiday. But because of COVID-19, they are pushing it way back to August. But this is kind of the story with a lot of movies now that we are in this pandemic. I can't remember the last time that I've even stepped foot in a movie theater because it's been so long. Do you guys? What's the last movie time you went to a movie?
Well, it's been
Bad Boys 2.
My house.
Right. The theater.
The theater. When's the last time you've gone to the theater? Been a while, right?
Well, you can't know because I'm saying the theater's been closed. I haven't
Well,
been.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's been, yeah.
Because I go to the movie all the time.
You're going to see more of it, if I'm not mistaken, Joe, and you correct me because you're right there with your finger on the pulse of all this entertainment stuff. I think that Regal Cinemas announced that they're closing all of their movie theaters. You know, so
I know that there's only a small percentage of theaters that are open around the entire country, and a lot of them are operating at different hours. They have a capacity, only a certain number of people allowed, and of course they're trying to adhere to the social distancing rules. So it's really been hard. Movie theaters and cinemas have really been struggling during this. Really have.
Yeah. And I think Regal, their closure is going to be permanent, not like it's,
Yeah, just not for the pandemic. Wow,
because
that's
you can't
incredible.
weather the storm, which means Amazon and Netflix.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to catch my movies no matter what. I am a movie buff. I love watching the movies right on the day they come out. I love a good movie, but drama, my family, my husband, he'll do some comedies, and I'm like, I don't find that much funny.
You remind me, Kim, you remind me of my best friend Greg. He loves movies. You can always find him at the movie theater. He will leave his job. Well, he's the supervisor at his job, but he will leave his job and go to a movie, a matinee or something. But usually when I call him on Sundays, I was like, hey, what are you doing? Where are you at? He's like, I'm at church. When he says he's at church, he means he's at the movies.
Oh, that's horrible. You're in the movies and no church. Come on.
You don't know the Lord.
You don't know the Lord.
So funny.
That's all I have for you guys today.
Oh, wow. Okay, y'all. This has been great. Anybody have any thoughts about the movie Respect being postponed into August? Type your thoughts and put those in the comments section. Joe will go back and watch them as well. Oh, somebody said, Cassandra said, the last movie I went to was to see Onward with my granddaughter.
Oh,
that's good. Good. All right. Anybody have any questions, comments for Joe, celebrity guest? Your topics obviously spark so much conversation, Joe.
They do.
That's why everybody's like very excited about hearing about the celebrities. So when you come on,
that's what I'm here for.
All right. Well, you can stay here and keep on getting a part, or you can time off, whichever way.
I'm going to stay today because I want to hear Dr. Shante.
Yeah, with all her flowing hair. Okay, Dr. Shante. Dr. Shante Williams is on. She is the CEO of being able to, I don't have your profile here in front of me, but I know that you create generational wealth and teach generational wealth for the Black community, Black Pearls, and your strategist. So come on and talk to us a little bit about some tips right quick.
Okay, so I'm gonna just say maybe 3 things, maybe just one thing, I don't know. I'm just gonna point out to everybody, when we talk about generational wealth, building your business, getting things together, figuring out who you are and what your trajectory is going to be, I'm going to use the great Miss Stacey Abrams as a big flashing sign for all of us. So if you are into politics, like I'm into politics, or even just hearing the noise on the news, you know that Georgia this morning flipped to blue. And that's huge, right? And that's huge mainly, and I'm going to say mainly, other people might not give her all this credit, but when she lost her race for governor a couple of years ago, what did she not do? She did not quit. She didn't say, I'm taking my ball and going home. She said, okay, y'all won't do this to me again. Yeah, look, like you won't do this to nobody else again. She started registering people. I've heard reports that her nonprofit that she started after her failure, her perceived failure, was, registering all these folks, registering all these people to vote. And they showed up and they have shown out. So not only has Miss Stacey Abrams helped to flip a state that has not been blue since 1993,
wow,
but she has taken what was perceived as a loss of some people would say a major failure. And what you just realized was she might have lost that battle, but she is winning this war. And I would not be surprised if we see her in this next administration in a much higher position, being able to influence many more people. And I think that's exactly what we have to do, especially we got maybe 7 weeks left in this year. As you start to think about your legacy, building a business, building wealth, building yourself, start looking at, and I do a lot of postmortems on my own life and where I want to be. And I will say one of the things you have to recognize is some stuff just did not work out the way you thought it would.
That's
How do you build on it? And if you can't build on it, then you're not looking at it correctly, because never lose, always learn. So that's me. And I'll give my own little personal testimony. I was talking to somebody this morning about my book that I put out with really no hoopla or marketing or knowing what the heck I was doing. No strategy. I don't recommend it. But I got a request this morning for 100 books. And I'm thinking, I got a case of books. I go to the case. There is 8 books left in that case. And then I recognized that because I stayed the course, lots of people said, if you don't sell this many books in the first few days, you're probably just going to, trail off. And I've gotten 5 calls this week for people wanting books, and what might be perceived as a slow start might be a big boom. And I've gotten 2 more requests to write books. So just telling people, stay the course.
I love the advice that you've given today. And anybody that have questions for our investment expert, our wealth knowledge expert, Dr. Shante Williams, please make sure you type those and she may be able to answer them right quick for you. Black Pearl Global Investments. I'll give you her contact information so you can stay in contact with her. It's blackpearlglobalinvestments.com. She's a Black angel investor and she has a book called Black Angels Among Us. Her book is available at drshante.com publication. And you can ask Dr. Shante by going to drshante.com. That's how you stay in contact. This is in every one of the outlets for you to be able to go back and review and click directly on the links. I want to also make sure that you know with how you can stay in touch with Shawn Hall. Shawn Hall is not only a political guru, but she's also an educational scholarship consultant and advocate. She helps young people go to school I don't want to say 100% free, but a whole lot of funding can go towards their college education. So you want to go to allroadseducation.com and connect with Shawn Hall. I can personally tell you, and having this as a testimony, that my son Ivan has received over maybe like $15,000, $20,000 worth of scholarships within the recent months because of the guidance of Shawn Hall. So if you have a child that's in high school, 9th grade, it doesn't matter. Start reaching out to Shawn Hall, allroadseducation.com. And let me also give a shout out to my other celebrity guest that's on here today, and celebrity expert Joe Duncan. He's with JDTV. If you have not subscribed to JDTV on YouTube, take a moment to do that today. And do it. You're gonna get some great celebrity news. He has celebrity interviews, exclusive celebrity interviews. Like he just recently interviewed Columbus Short, and he interviewed Keith Burke. I mean, he interviews all of these great. Who are you interviewing next?
We've got Leon from the Five Heartbeats, the Temptations, Little Richard coming up next, and singer Vivian Green. And also, I just want to throw this in there. I am featured in the latest edition of Voyage ATL magazine. So if you want to check that out and read a little bit about me, go to voyageatl.com.
All right, and everything that you need to know about Joe Duncan, you can find him right on Instagram at JDTV is. Wait, I did that wrong. Yeah, at JDTV _ is on.
That's
and
right.
That's on Instagram, right?
Well, yep. I just followed Joe. You have to follow me back.
I will.
See all the connections that's happening here on the Kim Jacobs Show. Go to at JDTV _ is on. JDTV is on. It's on. All right. Wow. I think we got a lot accomplished already in this short period of time. Let's see. Andrea Belk says, great information, everyone. Thanks, Shawn Hall. Thanks, Dr. Shante. Great story, Dr. Shante.
Yeah.
Stay the course. Setbacks can become strong comebacks. Stacey Abrams, thank you. Yes. Wow. Okay. I mean, we've covered a whole lot today. It's so much other stuff happening. Dr. Shante, you came right on and said everything that Shawn had said in the political component as a kudos to Miss Abrams. Yeah. And here you didn't even know, so that was confirmation. Go, Joe.
And Shawn, I'm going to send some kids your way. I don't have any. I'm actually allergic to children, but I'm going to send some your way.
He's licking his lips. Somebody allergic to children. That's because you're over there licking your lips.
Oh God, we're not doing this today.
But I'm going to send some your way. I know some.
You know some. They ain't yours. How you like? They ain't mine. Yeah.
Please do.
I will.
Shawn, do you want to say anything about the educational component with your scholarships and your offers and things?
I absolutely do. This is like what I call my high season, if you will, because there are billion scholarships, and I say this every day. Last night I was just on a tangent, and I said, maybe I need to do it another kind of way. Maybe I need to put on an old grandma cap and just go hard on people, because when I'm nice and professional, they get it. And it bothers me that they don't. That the day is not the kids. The day is us. The day is the parents. You can't get ready in a crisis for the crisis. So you got to look at Stacey Abrams and what she was able to do, right? Many people were upset that Brian Kemp had already been cooking the books, and most people weren't aware of it. But see, by the time they got hit to game, the books had already been cooked. There wasn't a whole lot that you could do. But Stacey said, I got something for you this time.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to get out here, and I know you're going to come with your same nasty tactics, so I'm going to be prepared. Parents, college is not something new for you. Most of the time when you got the baby in your womb, you're like, oh, my gosh, you got all these aspirations. I don't know a single parent who wants their kid to be a failure. I don't know a single parent who wants their kid to be a drug dealer. I don't know a single parent who wants their kid to be staying at home with them at 45 years old because they did not do what they needed to do in school. But you have to prepare. And I want to take it back. High school is not the time. Let me tell you why. The SAT and ACT both have math on there, right? All the way up to trigonometry and calculus. But here's the clue. Because we yell, and I was included in the yelling, so let me put myself in there. Yelling that these tests were biased, and they are. and they are about experiences, but not necessarily subject matter. You can't do well on trigonometry and you haven't been exposed to it. So that means that if your kid is in 9th grade and taking algebra 1, you're already behind. Did you realize that? Because you won't have the necessary math to be able to compete with the ACT or the SAT. That's why you need to come and see me 6th grade so we can plan this thing out. So we can say, hey, here's the math that your kid needs to be taking, so that by the time they get to the 10th grade first semester, we are doing test prep and we are taking these tests, not in the spring of your junior year, because if you follow the advice of the College Board, they will have you messed up. How many seniors weren't able to take the test this year? Thousands, hundreds of thousands, including my own. 3 times we registered for the test. 3 times we were kicked out because of the coronavirus. But you don't know what will happen in life. There'll always be some kind of coronavirus, meaning there'll always be some kind of setback. So you got to be prepared. And parents need to start, like, you know how the old school people started putting money away in a holiday account? Do that for your kids, for their college preparation, not just the money, but everything that's going to go into preparing for college, meaning your test preparation, meaning the tutors that you may need because your kid doesn't have the subject matter.
Your audio is messing up some, Shawn, but that's some good points that you're making. And I want to make sure that I put up there, allroseeducation.com is how you stay connected with Shawn. Shawn, the audio is messing up. So, okay.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Is there a child in the back seat?
No, that is a child in the back seat. Joe, listen.
My throat. I thought so. My throat was closing up.
Let me put this. Somebody type that comment. And he said he's allergic to children for those that are just watching or whatever. Joe Duncan, that's ridiculous.
You know what?
Start closing.
He's not allergic. He's not allergic because he's getting ready to share my name in rooms that I've never been in with him. He just don't care about him to the level that he want to have his own right at this moment.
And he want to keep licking his lips. I told you that's what he want to do. He got to keep licking his lips. Okay, women to admire.
I must have missed the lip context.
Oh yeah,
I'm confused.
Yeah, Dr. Shante, I'm glad you said that, Dr. Shante.
My audio is over here. I'm saying I think he loves them enough to want to share the information that they need to be successful.
That's true.
Of course.
That's true.
And Dr. Shante, what happens is when we first went live and we pulled him into the screen, he was doing he was licking his lips doing something. I was like, were you not ready to come on? I didn't know if it was like something. He was like, oh man, I pulled him on too soon. But he said he does that all the time. I was like, oh, okay.
You gotta stay moisturized. I'm just saying, you gotta stay moisturized. I understand.
Exactly. I need a tube of chapstick is what I need. That'll solve it. Just like that.
And now we're gonna start talking about Joe Duncan's list. Okay, June Griffith said, "Women to admire." Kudos to you, Dr. Shante, and to Shawn Hall as well.
There's a man here too.
You do all right. You do all right. You know. Y'all numbers today.
All right, y'all. Listen, make sure y'all go get some prayer at 12. We all need it clearly. And prayer is happening on Quest Church Prayer Line 978-990-5000. Access code is 322083#. And it's Monday through Friday from 12 to 12:30 p.m. If you have not taken a moment to subscribe to the Kim Jacobs Show, I'm asking you to go over to my YouTube channel. And that's where I need you to subscribe. And hit that notification bell, turn it to all. That way, anytime we go live, you get an opportunity to be a part of what's happening on the Kim Jacobs Show. So make sure you take a moment to subscribe. I saw some other comments. It was one that I saw from my church mother. Okay, yeah. Mother Patricia Lofton says, yes, stay the course. Good advice, Dr. Shante. Good advice.
Can I say something, Kim?
Yes.
I want people to stay the course with this show. We are giving quality content without cost. But if you believe that this is good ground, I'm going to take you right to church and ask you to sow into it. I want you, if you have a business, reach out to Kim today for your advertising. Joe Duncan, that's you too. All these celebrities, you know, some of these jokers are A-listers or B-listers. They need to come right.
Okay, Shawn.
And advertise. Stay over there with you, but advertise here with Kim so we can stay and keep doing what we do. Because guess what? We have to support each other. If we don't support each other, who will? So come on, let's do it for the culture and let's do it for Kim Jacobs. Let's go.
That's my best friend, Shawn. That's what I mean. So she's gonna say that for sure.
So Shawn ride or die.
Like, look, support the Kim
All
Jacobs
the way,
show.
baby.
Cash App, you can do a Kim Jacobs Inc. PayPal.me/Kim Jacobs Inc. Venmo at the Kim Jacobs Show. And if you want to be a Patreon member for after party content, you go back and unlock it anytime you want. Go to patreon.com/the Kim Jacobs Show. Okay, I agree. Okay, great. Joyce McCall, thank you. I have a new supporter in Joyce McCall. Oh, June said, hey, I love you too, Joe. Love you too. Powerful, Shawn. The preparation is important instead of blaming the system.
Yes.
Go, Dr. Dante, go. All right, y'all. I think we got as much covered as we could in a 1-hour show with these great experts here on the Kim Jacobs Show. It's so much other news out here, and I have a couple of things like Khloe Kardashian last week. She revealed that she had coronavirus. That's something that she did a video. You can go check out her page and hear her own personal story. Jamie Foxx, his sister, had passed recently, and I don't want to go another week without recognizing that his sister had passed away. She was 36 years old, and I definitely want us to keep the Foxx family in prayer. And there's a lot of other things happening across the world, but we know right now the biggest thing is the presidential election that's going way beyond November 3rd as far as the votes and everything being calculated. So let's keep whoever our president's going to be in prayer, and let's, support our country and get behind this excitement or disappointment. I don't know what's going to happen, but I just want everybody to stay at peace.
We're going to be all right.
It's going to be all right. Okay. Let the Lord have his way. Any final comments from each of my experts? And we're going to go ahead and close out. Dr. Shantae, you have a comment?
Only comment is have a restful weekend. We all got to recharge. Take this weekend to do so.
Thank you so much. Before we go to my next comment, let me let you know next week we have a young man that lives with epilepsy. This is National Epilepsy Month, and I want to make sure you know that you're going to be hearing from my guest on Monday. Tune in and hear his heart-wrenching story. And on Tuesday, we have Dr. Peggy Etheridge Johnson. On Wednesday, November 11th, we have my very own Mother Patricia D. Lofton, the State Supervisor of Women that I always tell you guys about, right?
Yeah.
She's going to be here, a woman of wisdom, and she's going to be here to share her wisdom on November 11th. Then we also have Ms. Lotus Roche. Now, that woman knows what she's doing with marketing and branding, and she's going to be here on the Kim Jacobs Show. This is the lineup for next week, guys. Shawn, you have a question or comment or final thought?
Yes, my zaniness and crazy ways are taking me to love. So I'll be doing Let's Make a Deal, a taping of that next week on Wednesday with Wayne Brady. It's a virtual kind of thing. So hopefully within the next month or so, we'll see it come live. And when that happens, I'll be able to share with you all the time.
Oh, and you know what? It was like the audio was messing up a little bit because I know you're in your car. But so just so I heard you correctly, you're doing a taping with Wayne Brady on Let's Make a Deal?
Yes. And so they're doing something virtual because of coronavirus. And they told me I'd be selected to be in the virtual audience. So I'm excited about that. I got to get a little costume together and all of that stuff. So I'm excited.
All right. I'm excited for you. Door number 2.
Thank you, Joe. Huh?
Door number 2.
Door number 2?
Yes.
Joe, I don't know about door number 2. Door number
always.
2 is always.
Oh, trust me. Trust me.
All right, go door number 2, Shawn. All right, congratulations, Shawn. Please let me have a say in the costume. Please take some pictures and send them to me so I can say, girl, no, or absolutely. I can't wait.
I got an idea too.
Huh?
You remember Lenny from Good Times? Lenny from Good and Plenty? I'm gonna be his sister because I'm gonna have all my fragrances with my Good and Plenty. See what I'm saying?
Okay, y'all. If y'all think that Shawn should, if y'all think that Shawn should be Lenny's sister, then say yes. Be Len. Put some kind of comment to Shawn, because she gonna open up the jacket and be like, huh?
Oh, it's many. A many with good and plenty.
Okay, so she's gonna be many with good and plenty. All right, Joe. Final comments.
Oh, have a great weekend, everybody. I'm sorry about the sound. My yard man is outside now. He just pulled up. But and Dr. Shantae.
I got you.
It won't be because he's trying to produce no children. That's for sure. He just want to talk business. Okay.
No kids allowed.
Oh my gosh. Wait,
all right, everybody.
Dr.
See y'all
Shantae have any
Monday.
stock tips for us this week? Anything we should be getting, Dr. Shantae, with everything that's going on with the election? What's the one thing we should get?
Woo, one thing you should get looking at stocks. Well, if I were you, I would be looking into commodities. So wheat, gold, corn, bread and butter stocks. They're not super sexy, but don't forget those are staples that weather most political storms.
Wow. Y'all heard it right from Dr. Shantae Williams from Black Pearl Global Investments. Definitely take heed to this advice because she's a woman and knows what she's talking about. Hey, guys.